Hello people, and welcome back to News Review. So finally, we've gotten here. Demon Slayer collab is gonna come in a week after a super early reveal. So they've given the scores of the small prizes this time, although it may not look like it from my rating. The small prizes are pretty overpowered for, probably a couple reasons. One is because, it's Demon Slayer. Mad doesn't want people to get mad because they're bad. And two, I think they're trying to revive the game, which is fine. New players entering the game is always good. But first off, we'll start off with a challenge card that is out. The stage is out by the time this video is out, probably. Rosalind the Revenant, Dark Themes 87. The first batch of instants will be blocked with the Enchanted. You can dissolve by aligning 2 or more, and you ignore defense in ×4. Pretty, very, very average kind of card. The only useful thing, I think, might be number 1. For number 2, you already have Ingrid, who is just better, and that's that. Next, moving on to the 5 small prizes. By the way, there will be actually 3 medium jackpots and 1 1%, who is Tanjiro obviously, but yeah, 4 jackpots this time, kind of special. First off, Zenitsu as a leader. He can have light characters and the Demon Slayer characters in his team. Team attack times 6, HP and recovery times 1.2, on both sides is 1.44, pretty good. You dissolve race moonstones to get initial attack. If the enemy is demon, you get initial attack, although we can discount this because it's not going to happen very often. And for each column made in the first batch, 1 enchanted light moonstone will be generated in the column below Zenitsu. By dissolving 10 or more light moonstones, team attack times 1.4 additionally. So this is actually it's self-synergizing a lot just in the leader skill already. So you can dissolve, a lot of combos. You can drop light moonstones below, the Zenitsu in your leader and your ally slot. And this also stacks, so that's pretty insane. And next, for his team skill, it gets, remember this is a small prize. This is only a small prize. The jackpots haven't been revealed yet. Or rather they have, but the skills haven't been revealed yet. If the leader is Zenitsu and the ally is a Demon Slayer character, 1, 10 seconds of moonstone movement time. That's pretty insane. Although it's not regardless, so you gotta watch out for moonstone movement time reduction. Number 2, for every light moonstone dissolve, combo count +1. So I think this might this may or may not synergize, but this is already really good. And even if it doesn't synergize, right, you still get additional combos +6 to the maximum. And this is not first batch, this is in total, so it counts your sky drops from his leader skill. You just get +6, probably guaranteed, right? Let's say you drop 4 from each side of leader and ally, that's 8 light moonstones. So combo count plus, always a good thing to have in a team. You ignore electrified. You turn the light moonstones into enchanted light human moonstones, so that's enchanted generation and race moonstone generation, which is good for enchanted shields, and also triggers his attack boost for race moonstones, and race moonstones are just an attack boost in themselves. By dissolving a group of 5 or more light moonstones, he can hit his attack times 2, and he can ignore trio elemental and quintet elemental. And that's it for himself. So the reason why I nearly put this at 50 diamonds, it would probably, if you put in the right members, I feel like he would, in normal terms, be a 50 diamond worth kind of leader. Because, in my opinion, they've given him, too much for even, some of the others small prizes in here, right? They've given him combos, electrified ignoring, enchanted generation, race runestone generation, trio and quintet ignoring abilities. That's so much. The one thing that I think, well, it's across all of these, right? I don't think any of them have recovery without actually recovering. And the other thing that he doesn't have is he strongly depends on light runestones, but he can generate them by sky drop, so I don't think that's a big problem. You can bring along like some other character if like, you really need it. If you don't, you know, if the enemy doesn't allow you to dissolve light. But yeah, I think it's the light human box is really good, and they've given him quite a lot to work with. So I predict this is going to be a really good light human leader. Of course, you know, there's Sangyu and all that, but if you are relatively new, you pull on this, you pull on Zenitsu, you definitely will not regret it. And even moving on, like, his health can be increased even more if you build like a Demon Slayer team instead of a light team, which may or may not be, you know, the long-term strategy. Him and Nezuko, HP attack and recovery times 1.3, pretty good. Tanjiro and Inosuke and him, all three HP attack and recovery times 1.3. It's like, if you put Tanjiro, Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Nezuko in one team, I think it will be pretty insane HP. Of course, like in the future, you know, in 1 week, right? Tanjiro's skills are revealed, and he'll probably have like HP times 1.3 or something. HP's gonna go like sky high, but yeah. On to his active. He has one active, CD6, Thunderclap and Flash. Very cool. Restores Hypnosis. Has something to do with the font, but also there is indeed Hypnosis in the game. Probably to do with Hypnos, but I haven't seen it anywhere else. But you can use them to defeat the Endless Transmigration if it's still up. Turn 13 runestones at fixed positions into Enchanted Light Human runestones. He launches 6 extra light attacks, electrify the enemy, and he ignores defense and puzzle field. So, as I said, they've given him like so much to work with in terms of shield breaking ability. He ignores like a lot of stuff. This one, for number 6, if you are below a half health, like you may or may not, you know, want to work with this. You may want the enemy to hit you first, basically. If you don't die, that is. But yeah, getting this to trigger will be kind of iffy. But of course, you can boost him using members and other means to get him to crack the puzzle shield in just one go. Here's the animation. It's pretty cool. And this, apparently, it is the exact pose he does when he kneels down to do Thunderclap and Flash. I can't really see it for myself. Like, kind of. Like, is this the leg? And this is a sword or something? But, yeah. They may or may not have messed this one up, but moving on to Inosuke, who is an Earth Beast. When the team only has beasts, humans, or Demon Slayer characters. Team attack times 6 and HP times 1.2. Same deal, 1.44 on both sides. Plus recovery for each member 160. Not really that helpful. By dissolving Race Stones, team attack times 2, that's okay. And demon enemies, can't count on that. If the leader is Inosuke and the ally is a Demon Slayer character, if a runestone of the corner is picked up and start moving, turn the 5 runestones slash moving into Earth Beast runestones. So kind of like Leonard from Creed's Earthlings. He does synergize with this, with number 4, by dissolving a group of 5 or more. His attack times 2 and launches an extra Earth attack. It's okay, once again. He also gets runestone time of 10 seconds. And Earth has the effects of others. So he's like kind of a beast leader, I think, that is acceptable basically for now. Right? I don't think, well, there are some beast leaders coming, but they're in May. May 10th is what they said, I think, on Facebook. So, yeah, a good beast leader just for now, right? Especially if you don't have Dagda. And for his powered up leader skill, I'm not sure what actually changes here. Well, this changes. Number 5. At the end of the round, you can explode 10 runestones in X. That's the same X, I think, as you do with Maya to Well, it's the exact same thing, except he generates enchanted runestones. And Maya can also choose to not explode. Well, when she chooses not to explode, she converts. But if you choose not to explode, nothing happens with Inosuke. And you know, the HP stuff I've gone over. That is, in Zenitsu's case, for his active, he has one active as well. Beast breathing, thankfully. Restore hypnosis of the character. That's again plot kind of thing. Explode 10 runestones in an X. Pretty cool. Generate enchanted earth and enchanted heart human runestones, or enchanted earth and enchanted heart beast runestones. So pretty much, I don't know why they wrote this twice, but there are 3 types you can generate: enchanted earth with no race on it, enchanted heart human, or enchanted heart beast, which I think is okay, but you gotta remember it's 10 runestones in total that you generate. So I don't think it's particularly good for this one. Ignoring Sticky is pretty okay. I think there's one other beast that can ignore Sticky. And he launches an extra attack as much as 2.5 times his attack to all enemies. That's again okay. And you can use it faster if the leader is a beast. Again, okay, nothing, you know, amazing like Zenitsu. Giving him like quite a lot of stuff. Animation again, it's pretty neat. This X right here. Moving on to Shinobu, Dark Human. You can have dark characters, human characters, or demon slayer characters from the team. A pretty big box to choose from, especially from the human side. Team attack times 6, HP recovery times 1.2, same as pretty much everyone else. By dissolving race runestone, team attack times 1.6, additionally, the same demon stuff. And by dissolving Dark or Heart, the character launches 5 extra attacks as much as 50% of her own attack. So this, well, there's 2 things, right? One is the extra attack, and 2 is the race runestones. She does generate her own race runestones by, in the same fashion as Izanagi or Gon and Killua, if anyone has those. Or Killua in particular, I think. So she gets the 10 seconds like everyone else. Dark and Heart have the effect of each other, and by dissolving Dark and Heart, you turn the bottom row into 3 enchanted Heart runestones and 3 enchanted Dark Human runestones. So this is the source of the race runestones I was talking about. When the enemy is venomed, she gets an attack boost of times 3, and by dissolving Dark and Heart runestones, you can venom the enemy by just attacking. So basically you get this times 3 inbuilt in the team. And she synergizes with, I don't know how to read this character's name, the other butterfly girl. But one potential member, of course, we have her, right, is Yoko. He does convert the Dark into Heart, but it's still human runestones. It still triggers the leader skill. It still triggers it still triggers everything else. And most importantly, it synergizes with the concentrated damage on the leader, so that would be something to try out. But you can do a lot of things with the human box, right? But I don't think the attack is going to be spectacular, and also like shield breaking abilities, right? There's no kind of shield breaking in this one except poison, of course, which is you could put that on an enemy who has a status shield. For her active CD6, poisonal enemies absorb the HP regardless of attribute and defense, and if the enemy is a demon, you can ignore the enemy's skill as well. So this will be useful in just ultra specific situations, I guess, where you can't die and you can technically kill the enemy. Right? I presume you'll have like some, maybe Lu Bu, right? Because you can have dark characters in it, you can speed up the process by doing that. But yeah. if there are 3 or more Demon Slayer characters in the team, actually, you can also act as a stack clear. Clear all enemies, clear all additional effects in play, and fully recover HP. So, pretty good, you know, the standard utility card for stack clearing in the seal. And moving on, Kanao, I guess is what I'll call it for now. Dark Human CD5, tap to include 3 runestones and the runestones adjacent to them to generate. Okay, well, this means you tap 3 times and then you explode it in a 3x3 area around the runestone you tapped to generate enchanted heart runestones. Heart has the effect of everything else. So, average, honestly pretty average, 5 diamonds. For this card, she does synergize with Shinobu, but it's not a particularly stellar effect, so that's that. Next, last but not least of the seal cards, Tamayo and Yushiro. You have 1 active but 2 effects. You pick one when you activate it. The first one is kind of, I mean, it's okay, but it's kind of bad. You explode heart to generate runestones other than heart. I guess you would use it for this, the first effect, because if you don't want heart, that's pretty useful. For 1 round, the enemy attack themselves or each other once. Well, a lot of enemies nowadays have non-controlling, so this won't work. And if the enemies are demons, you know, you increase the amount of rounds by 1, but again, this is, you know, not likely to work all the time. Number 2, explode heart to generate enchanted runestones of any kind. That's not really the point for this one. The point for this one is the neighboring members attack and recovery times 3.5. So this is a pretty huge attack boost. Also a pretty huge recovery boost, so I'm not sure if that will, you know, one they don't be. Because 3.5 is really good. It is only for 2 cards, you know, beside it. You can also ignore initial shield. So theoretically, right, if you pair this card up with a Zenitsu times 3.5, you can even ignore initial shield with, you know, just combine these 2 actives. Insane value. Even though, as I said, Zenitsu, you would want him to run a light human kind of team, primarily, if you can, and probably long term now what he will become, but yeah. I think this is an insane combination just from this seal. And last and least, I guess, a Demon in the Bog, who is a bi-weekly card. Water Demon, CD6. Convert 9 random runestones into enchanted water, enchanted fire, and enchanted earth. For 1 round, you know, sticky. And by dissolving 3 Okay, by dissolving 3 or more attributed runestones. I'm like, how would you not do that? The character launches 3 extra attacks as much as 50% of its own attack. This card, I mean, it's one of the few water cards, and also, I mean, I guess one of the few demon cards who can ignore sticky. So that's a good reason to get him right. And actually, we move on to celebration events, because there's actually a couple things in here. One is the returning ultimate stages. There is Plasicodon, who is kind of bad. You can read it right here. It's basically heart has the effect of itself, but not really, you know, that good. The other one is Kingu, who is kind of good. You arrange the board, although, you know, of course it doesn't work if it's ignoring conversion. The enemy has a skill that ignores conversion, that is. But he does also have everything, has the effect of everything, so I think it's a good enough card to farm a bit. He'll be at the end of the week. Next is costumes, I think. Well, no. Actually, next is this card, Skycracking Sword Chris, who just isn't in the news, you know, the main news. I don't know why, but Here he is on the wiki. He is the fire branch of the original Machine of Future, of course. This one focuses on making the left member launch attacks on different attributes. So you launch it on water, fire, and dark attack. It's okay, I guess. I don't think there are fire cards that can make your attack dark. I may be mistaken on that, but he's definitely one of the few that can actually, like, this is a weird combination. It's also a special combination, so I think, he's good. Not a bad character for any, just by any means, right? And yeah, one last thing. Costumes. Costume of Chingui will be up, the animated outfit. The outfits of heroes that I mentioned will be up. So just the small prizes of the Chronos Fate Seal. And the animated outfits of minerals if you didn't get them already. And bonus stamina. Alright, that is it for this week's news review. Hope you're excited for the Demon Slayer collab. If you are, I'll also be covering that next week. So if you like this, please leave a like. If you have any questions, leave a comment. And if you like this and you want to see more, especially next week for more Demon Slayer news, please subscribe. Alright, that's been this week's news review, and I'll see you next week. See ya!